This is Loungewear Aileen RA-01L. She's a 1/12 action figure by Snail Shell and essentially a version of this Eileen when she's relaxing on her day off and not a bunny girl. I gotta say, she is a fantastic figure, but she's not perfect. So let's check her out. We're gonna cover everything about her, from accessories to articulation, how to deal with her clothing, the glasses, body swaps and all that good stuff. Also, if you are looking for Snail Shell and other figure stuff, don't forget to check out Bombasby, linked below. Even though she is seemingly simple, there's quite a lot to cover, so if I miss anything or if you have any questions later on, do let me know in the comments. Inside the box there is just one tray, the instructions, even though we're gonna pretty much cover everything in this video, and after sales for the Chinese version. Out of the box, she just has her oversized shirt on. Overall look, of course, as per usual with Snail Shell, absolutely fantastic. If you have other Snail Shell figures, you can kind of know what to expect. Even for something so simple as just like a base body, she still looks really good. For me personally, probably the most important part of the figure is the head and hair sculpt. And here, of course, it looks great. I would say the strands are quite nice and neatly detailed. There's some light shading and gradient and maybe a slight sparkle as well. Not quite sure if it shows up on screen. Face sculpt and expression, beautiful. Her oversized shirt looks to be of pretty good quality. It's quite thin and actually see-through under the right lighting. She does have a separate bra as well. We'll take a detailed look at how to deal with the clothes and stuff later on because it can be a little bit tricky. And you will want to be careful because the shirt can be quite delicate. And of course we'll see what's underneath and stuff. Even on her day off, if you couldn't already tell from the shirt, she still likes her bunnies and stuff. She has a kind of bunny rabbit headband. Super cute. It has some detail and sculpting on it to make it look like it's fluffy. Now how it attaches is great. It's simply a magnet. Plop it on top of her head and it will stay attached. Super simple, looks good, works really well. Alright, what else do we have? Bare feet, I guess. What do you think about her so far? Too simple? Just right? Let me know down below. Alright, moving on to accessories. We got your standard Snail Shell stand stuff. There are spare wrist joints and 3 sets of glasses. These are also, you know what, I'll talk about them later on. What I do like is that she has a whole bunch of hands, and a separate tray to hold all of them. She's also got another pair of feet. By default, she has standing feet, and her other pair of feet have kind of like toes raised. I suppose they look good. Alright, going back to the hands. She has a pair of default relaxed hands. She's got kind of pointy L hands. Kind of pinchy or pulling hair back kind of hands. I suppose you can use these for the glasses. She's got a more regular pair of holding hands. These are large enough to hold this stick thing. Finally, she has a pair of kind of larger grabbing hands. So 5 pairs of hands total, not bad. Bunny ears again. She has a bra as well, which is made of soft plastic. Here's what the bra looks like. It is nicely detailed to emulate lace, and we'll take a look at how to put it on later. 4 faces in typical unfortunate Snail Shell fashion. There are only 2. By default, she has a gentle and cute smile. Very nice. Her other face is kind of a more silly, open mouth kind of expression, with tilted eyebrows. Also looks good. I think they're different enough for me not to complain about having only 2 faces. These both have movable eyes, of course, using this stick thing. Also, if you have the other Eileen, thankfully, their faces are fully interchangeable. This is what they look like. I think they look quite good together, and swapped around and stuff like that. You can of course do your head swaps with other Snail Shell girls, but first we're going to take a look at the glasses. Not gonna lie, I kinda hate these things. The glasses are essentially metal cutouts, which means they are quite sturdy, which is good. So what you're going to want to do is just take a pair of scissors and then cut off each side. Then try to carefully bend it into the correct shape. I don't think there's a correct side, so it doesn't really matter. Now these bloody things do not stay on her face at all. Or maybe you found a way to do it, and please let me know down below if you have. So pretty much what you're gonna have to do is try to balance it on her face, and then put her front hair back on. I don't think it's possible to just slip them in between her face and front hair when it's already on. They will also kind of look funny unless you bend them in like a very specific way, which honestly I don't think I managed to do. Who knows, maybe it's a skill issue though. Also, because the glasses are metal, I didn't really feel comfortable shaping the glasses around her face trying to keep them on, because they might scratch the face. Long story short, these things suck. Thank God I never have to use them again. Alright, time out. Let's take a breather with some articulation. So it's pretty standard Snail Shell stuff, honestly. However, two things. Number one, her head was quite stiff out of the box, so be careful with that if it happens to you. As well as that, if you're trying to move her around with her shirt on, do be careful and don't get too handsy. Reason being, you might wrinkle the shirt and it won't look good in pictures and stuff. I think mine's a little bit messed up, but whatever. But otherwise, head movement. A little bit limited by the back of her poofy hair, but it's not too bad. She looks up and down like so. Arms go up to the sides. She reaches forwards. Reaches backwards. Reaches up. Double jointed elbows. Bicep rotation. And standard wrist stuff. Upper torso rotation, even though she doesn't have the largest of assets, it's kind of average. Tilts are okay. And she bends backwards and forwards like this. I guess you get a bit of a sneak peek. I mean, there's not too much going on besides a fantastic stomach and back sculpt. You'll notice that the hip is one piece and there's no separate movement there either. Legs raised to the sides well. She has a pretty nice butt sculpt. Your standard Snail Shell L joints. She does have pull down legs, which thankfully on my copy work very well. Backwards and forwards without pulling down the legs is like this. Backwards kick a little bit limited. With the pull down legs she can kick all the way up. And kind of back into the side more as well. Thigh rotation, double jointed knees, and standard feeties. At the right angle she can pivot as well. If you're wondering, she is about 15 centimeters or 6 inches tall. With her bunny ears, just add a centimeter or half an inch. Okay, so to put her bra on, obviously you'll have to take off the shirt first. To take off the shirt, I would not recommend pulling it down. You might end up stretching it too much. And it was honestly kind of hard to do. It is doable though. This is what the body looks like. Unfortunately, no super interesting details or anything like that. However, I would say overall sculpt is very nice. To take the shirt off, I would recommend pulling off the arms and torso. When taking off the arms, be careful and try not to rough up the shirt. Also keep an eye on the little ring in her shoulder. Same thing with the torso, just take your time with it. Also, just ignore that she keeps having her bra on and off in these shots. No good figures time. While dealing with the shirt, I noticed that her left arm was actually on the wrong way. It's a little bit fucked up, but it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Her bra can be a little bit hard to get on, so just take your time and be gentle with it. Do your best to wiggle her into it. Once done, of course, she will look fantastic. Super simple, but I think it works well. If you want to put her shirt back on, essentially just reverse the process. Easiest way, of course, is to take the arms and the torso off. When dealing with her shirt, do be very careful as well, as you might get it caught on her hair. Which I managed to do, unfortunately. You know who else has a nice shirt? I think Modernia's shirt looks even better on Eileen. Here is a comparison of Modernia and Eileen. You'll notice that Modernia is a fair bit larger than Eileen, and it's not just her chest. She actually has longer arms, and her legs are longer and thicker. Overall, that makes Modernia a very big girl. I'd also like to point out that the butt sculpt is different. Which one do you think looks better? What you can also do is a torso swap. Kind of. Eileen's upper torso connection is actually larger than Modernia's, which means that Eileen can steal Modernia's lower body, but it doesn't really work the other way around. For these shots, Modernia is just balanced on Eileen. Here she is with Modernia's crouching pose. Skin color is also a little bit different, but doesn't matter too much. Head swaps with other figures might not really work depending on the neck joint. However, depending on what it is, size is generally okay. And if you like the look, then you can just mod the neck. For Snail Shell girls, it is a direct swap. However, I did find that my Lounge Eileen's neck was a little bit hard to pull out. So if you have that issue, just take your time and do use a bit of heat. I think most of these swaps look pretty good. Let me know down below which one you think looks the best. Gotta say, Lounge Aileen is another fantastic figure from Snail Shell. You can probably tell that despite the minor issues that I had, I did really enjoy messing around with her. She'll pretty much look good with any other figure, guys and girls. If you want to see more Snail Shell stuff, I will have it linked for you. We also have a Discord where we talk about figures and stuff via YouTube membership or Patreon. I'll also have some links below in case you want to grab Eileen. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.